carrying on from the previous lesson. Now, for example, on the 15th of Sha'ban, a person became the owner of £240, which is more than the nisab of silver. The nisab of silver as of today is £238. So a person became the owner of £240 for the first time. But because the money has not been in his ownership, in his possession for a whole year, meaning for one Islamic lunar year, a person will not give zakat on that date. However, the following year, on the 14th of Sha'ban, he will calculate his zakat. If he has more than 612 grams of silver on that date, then he will give 2.5% of that in zakat. If during the year a person's wealth decreased, but then before his zakat year ended, it increased again. So at the end of the year, he had more than 612 grams of silver in cash. So for example, a person had £300, which is more than £238, which is the cash equivalent of 612 grams of silver, then a person will give zakat 2.5% at the end of the year. However, during the year, if a person's wealth hits zero, it decreases and it hits zero, then his zakat year will collapse. Then the next time he becomes the owner of 612 grams of silver in cash, then his zakat year will start again. Now a person should note down and remember the lunar date he became Sahibe Nisab. When he became the owner of 612 grams of silver, or if he has cash, then what 612 grams of silver is worth. Now again, as of today, the rate is £238. So if a person became the owner of £238, he should make a note on the calendar that this is my zakat date. Then a person waits a whole year. Now for example, on the 15th of Sha'ban, a person became the owner of nisab. Then the following year, on the 14th of Sha'ban, he'll calculate his zakat. If he has wealth equal to or more than the nisab, then whatever the amount is, the final amount is, he'll give 2.5% of that. But if at the end of the year he has less than the nisab, then he won't give any zakat. So for example, a person's zakat date, one whole year ended today, and today the equivalent of 612 grams of silver in cash is £238. But a person, after calculating his zakat is £200 for example, he won't give any zakat. It has to be according to 612 grams of silver or more. Now zakat is an individual obligation, like namaz, hajj, fasting is. It is every person's personal and individual responsibility to pay his own zakat. Yeah? A commonly asked question is, no, we have so much wealth, how do we pay zakat? But when you ask that person, what do you mean by we? He says, no, my wife and children, we have so much wealth. No, zakat should not be worked out collectively. Yeah? The main person in the house is not responsible for paying everyone's zakat. Everybody has to calculate their own zakat. So every baligh member, every mature person in the household has to calculate their own zakat. Yeah? And they have to calculate their own wealth. And then according to what they have, what items of wealth that we mentioned in the first lesson, gold, silver, cash savings, business stock, and money lent to others, a person's own wealth. He'll calculate his own wealth at the end of the year and he'll give 2.5% of that in zakat.